Hey everybody, so today we're going to be learning from Chapter 10, Lesson 2. This time we are learning about volume of triangular prisms. Yesterday we learned about rectangular prisms. So a triangular prism looks something like this, okay? It has a base here and a base here. Both bases are parallel and identical to each other. Okay, we talked about this yesterday. That's what a prism is, right? Now, when we're talking about triangular prisms, one thing to note is that we are going to first find the area of this base here, right? If I were to take this piece of paper off, okay, I'm trying to find the area of this triangle. After I find the area of this triangle, then I'm going to find the area, or I'm going to find how many layers does this prism have? That's pretty much saying how many of these area triangles are stuck together and layered on top of each other, right? That's the height of this. So if I said the height of this is 5, then that's saying there are 5 of these stacked on top of each other, right? So whatever area this is, if the area of this was 10, then I could say 10 times 5, right? The amount of triangles that are layered on top of each other. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing today to find the volume of a triangular prism. It's really going to be the area of the base times the height. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to sketch out what a triangular prism is. So a triangular prism, once again, we are finding the base first, okay? So my base here, we're finding the area of the base. Okay, so this would be one of my bases, right? And I'm going to say the base of this, B equals 6 feet. Okay, so this base has a length of 6 feet, and then I want the height. The height of this triangle, I'm going to say is 4 feet. Okay, so this is my base, has a length of 6 feet, height of 4 feet. Now I'm going to draw my triangular prism. Okay, my triangular prism is going to have 2 of these as its bases. Okay, so I'm going to draw 2 of these first. Okay, so I'm not an artist or anything. I've talked to some of you about this. Just do the best you can to try to sketch these out. Okay, so here's my base. I drew 2 of these over here, and now I'm going to start connecting all of the vertices so that I can make my triangular prism. Okay. So there's my triangular prism. And once again, we will be finding the area of this base, okay, which is the same as this area here. And this base and height, well, this base would go here, 6 feet, and then this base has a height of 4 feet. What I need to know is going to be the height of this triangular prism, this right here. So that's also what we're going to be seeing in our volume formula. And for the purposes of this example, we know what the height of that is. It is 8 feet. Okay, so now let's write down what the volume of a triangular prism is. So the formula. So volume of triangular prism. This is going to look similar to what we wrote down as the volume of a rectangular prism. Okay, so we have base, capital B, times the height. And when I say base, what I'm talking about is the area of this base right here, right? It's going to be that area, okay, so which is the same as this. So I'm going to write that down. Base of area of prism. Okay, base of area of prism, which we're going to point to this. So it's pretty much the area of this. Okay, that's what B represents. So down here, I'm going to write a formula for us to calculate this base. The formula is just the area of a triangle. Okay, so it's going to be base times height divided by 2. And then we have our height. This is our formula. And when we are trying to show our work, we are always going to write down our formula. Okay, so now let's actually solve for the volume of this triangular prism that we drew. So we know the heights and bases and lengths of everything here, right? So we're going to start plugging in these values into our formula. So I know the base right here of this triangle, which is 6 feet. I know the height, it's 4 feet, and I'm getting these values, it's the same over here. So 6 times 4 divided by 2, I'm finding the area of this base, okay, times our height. And our height is going to be this right here, which is 8 feet. Okay, now I'm just going to go through and do my calculation. So this is the work. 6 times 4 is 24, divided by 2 is 12, times 8. So our volume equals 96 feet cubed, because 12 times 8 is 96. And notice that I did not forget my units. Feet cubed. This is the units that we have for volume. Okay, so formula, work, units. All right, we are going to do one more example today. Go ahead and draw a line across so we separate the problems that we're doing. Now this next problem, there's going to be some sort of height or base missing. There's going to be a dimension missing, and we need to figure out what it is. But we will be given the area. Okay, so find the height of the triangular prism. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing. What is missing is going to be the height. Okay, so that's what we'll be finding. We know the area. we know the volume. The volume is 55 inches cubed. The base length, which is this base length right here, right? Base length. Base length is 5 inches. And then the last thing, base height. When I'm talking about base height, I'm talking about this right here. Base height is 2 inches. Okay, base height right here is different from the triangular prism height. Okay, let's sketch this out real quick. So we have a triangular prism. First I'm going to draw just the base. Okay, so I know that the base length is 5 inches. And I know that the base height is 2 inches. Okay, so there's my base. Now I'm going to draw my triangular prism, just like I did up here. Okay, so I have a volume, an overall volume of 55 inches cubed. I have a base length of 5 inches. I have a base height of 2 inches. And now I'm looking for my overall triangular prism height. That's what I'm looking to find. Okay, so I'm going to set this up by writing down my formula first. Volume equals the area of this base, right? Area of this base, so base times height divided by 2, multiplied by the height. Okay, I'm pretty much trying to find out the area of this and then how many layers does this triangular prism have. So I'm going to start plugging in values now. I know what the volume is. It's 55 inches cubed. I know what my base length is. It's 5. And I know what my height, my base height is. It's 2 divided by 2. And then what I'm trying to find out is the height. So I'm going to calculate this first. Order of operations says I do what's in the parentheses first. 5 times 2 is 10, divided by 2 is 5. And of course, times the height. Okay, so now I'm following the same 3 steps that I always follow when I'm trying to solve for a variable. Step 1, find the variable right here. Step 2, find out what's happening to the variable. What operation is being done? Well, it's being multiplied by 5. And step 3, I'm going to undo what's happening to it by using inverse operations. Once again, inverse operations means we're using the opposite. So if this is multiplication, I want to use division. Okay, so I'm going to undo what's happening to it. We said it was being multiplied by 5, so to undo that, I'm going to divide by 5. And I'm going to divide by 5 on both sides because that's what properties of equality tell us to do. Remember, this line here means division, okay? So 5 divided by 5 is just 1, and 1 times h is just h. Okay, and then 55 divided by 5, that is 11. Okay, but I wrote my formula, showed my work, and now I need to show my units. Okay, so this is going to be, the height is 11 inches. Okay, so over here we have 11 inches, which you can also think of as having 11 layers, right? So we have the area of this space, and then there are 11 layers. So to find volume, we would multiply the area of this base times the 11 layers, okay? And then if you did that to check your work, make sure you did it right, you should get 55 inches cubed. Let me know if you have any questions. Once again, always start with your formula, show your work, and then include your units.